Hello and happy March. We have some exciting things to work on this month. Not even some, a lot of exciting things to work on this month. Everything that I mention, every video that I mention in this video can be found within my memberships on thatnicolefiore.com or right here on YouTube. You just hit that join button on my channel. When you join the roller skating membership, you also get access to all of the Mind, Body, Soul videos, mindfulness, and off skates workouts, as well as early access to the podcast. So there's a lot within that membership. Please check it out and let me know if you have any questions at all. All right, so every month I build out a practice schedule, and this practice schedule includes drills, skills, and choreography videos. Week 1, I want you to work on drills number 2. Drills number 2 is on balancing and pointing. So we will be working on balancing one foot and then the other and pointing our free leg out. Now, this is something that a lot of new skaters don't really think about. Is you do have to obviously know how to balance on one foot and then the other. Our wheels like to roll. So we do have to figure out where we need to put our weight in our skate and throughout our entire leg, throughout our entire body. We also need to work on pointing the free leg. When you push, you don't want a dangly, floppy free leg. We want to be able to point our toe and use our boot to elongate our leg. Now, after you work on those drills, I want you to get into the outer forward 3-turn. Our 3 turns are very fun skills and very important skills. Learning how to turn on one foot can realistically save you a lot of the times, because to get out of the way of someone, to get out of the way of something, yes, a heel to heel transition is great, but sometimes you have to turn around even quicker than that. And a 3-turn is a really great option for that. Our outer forward 3-turn is done, yes, on an outer forward edge. So you'll start on an outer forward edge and on an inner back edge, because 3 turns switch edge. So outer to inner. Then for our practice this week, we are going to do one of the Mind, Body, Soul workouts that is for the back and for your posture. So just like we were working on it in drills 2, learning how to balance, our posture is a big component of that. So I want you to work on your back and your posture with that video. Then I want you to get into the held open 3-turn. So just like the outer forward 3-turn, this one will be going from outer forward, ending on the outer back. Same 3-turn, but we will be using the free leg, pointing it, like we worked on in the drills video, pointing it and swinging it through. Now, I said through. We don't want to go around on the held open 3-turn. We want to slice that free leg through and hold it beginning and after the turn, hopefully in the same position. So when you're doing a 3-turn, or any turn for that matter, and stretching the free leg out, you want to make sure it is kind of copying the same movement before the turn and after the turn. So however high you have it when you start, you want it to be that high when you finish, and the angle of your free leg you also want to be exactly the same when you start the turn and when you end the turn. You just slice it through during the turn. Then we have a really fun skill to practice. Not that turns aren't fun, but I want you to work on the dribble. Now the dribble is labeled dribble/slingshot. This is because when you rotate it, that is called a slingshot. But the dribble is working on your weight, one foot and then the other, while kind of doing a stationary moonwalk. It's a really good skill to practice for technique and balance, but it is also a really cool dance move, and we will be using it in our choreography this month. Now on to week 2. We are going to do our choreography to Skate by Silk Sonic. I love this song. Obviously, I'm a roller skater. I was obsessed with this song when it came out, and I'm still obsessed with this song now. So our choreography uses a ton of different skills. Let me read it off to you. I have it written down. In the beginner intermediate, we use a back pivot, an assisted 3-turn, dribble, cross pull, back to forward heel to heel rotation, and a spin. Now, even though I've listed all of those skills out, this is beginner intermediate choreography. So I do encourage you to use what you can, do what you can, and have something to grow into. So Our beginner intermediate choreography, I'm not saying it's easy, but it is simplified and it does have a lot of different options within it. You can always go a little bit slower. You can always go quicker. You can lessen the moves. You can add in more. It's more about finding your own rhythm and giving you enough skills to build upon. For our practice this week, we are going to do the back pivot. Now, a pivot, I do encourage you to wear a toe stop when you're working on your pivots, but you don't need to have a toe stop in. You can do it anchoring your toe wheels down instead of anchoring that toe stop down. But the back pivot, you'll be pivoting using your inner back edge to rotate you. So one toe stop will be down, or one foot, your toe wheels will be down, and then the other foot will be doing an inner back edge. When you do this, you want to make sure that your knee is staying over your toes and you are rotating your entire body with your pivot. So you don't want to like go too much with the body or too little with the body. The body has to follow the leg that is doing the inner back edge. I love when I say things like that, like you don't want to do too much, you don't want to do too little. There are so many things to think about when you are skating, and this is why I like to break these things down and give you enough to practice week to week so that by the end of the month, you are way more confident with all of these skills and with this choreography. So choreography, I love to use it as a practice tool. You don't need to be a dancer. You don't need to be confident dancing on your wheels. None of that is needed. It is more of a practice tool to make our practice really, really fun. Now, the second thing I want you to practice this week is drills 4, which is on our toe stop balance. So just like that pivot, we are using our toe stop to balance. Again, you don't necessarily need a toe stop. You could do this on your front wheels, but I do encourage you to put in a toe stop or at least a toe plug when practicing these things. Our drills videos are key. They are so important, and I really do encourage you to do them at least a few times a week. I just spoke with one of my students who does 30 minutes of drills each day. That is amazing. It is so, so beneficial to your skating. Even though it's not the most fun thing, I promise it will give you the longevity of skating for a really, really long time, hopefully without ever getting hurt. That is my biggest thing, is safety. I am a very cautious skater, believe it or not. And all of these things that I build out are meant to develop your skating in time so that you can be as safe and successful as possible. The third thing I want you to practice this week is our inner forward 3 turn. So we did our outer forward 3 turn in week 1. Now I want you to go to the inner forward 3 turn. So you'll be starting this turn on an inner forward edge, ending it on an outer back edge. This one is a little bit more difficult, I think. For me, at least, it's a little more difficult than the outer forward. I do suppose the inner edges are actually easier for some people, so maybe it'll be easier for you. You can let me know. But our inner forward 3 turn, we do an assisted turn in our beginner intermediate choreography. So I want you to do the assisted turn in the choreography, but then get a little more comfortable to lift that free leg up. All right, halfway through, on to week 3. In week 3, I want you to work on drills 11. This is one of my favorite drills videos that I've created. It is on static turns off skates. Now we've dabbled in our turns. We've worked on the outer forward. We've worked on the inner forward. Now I want you to take those skates off and I want you to do the turns without the weight of the skate. Because yes, skates are heavy, but we also need to know what's going on with our feet without our skates on. So static turns are stationary, obviously. We don't have skates on, we're just standing still. And it is learning and really training your body to lift specific parts of your foot and put weight into specific parts of your foot while turning. Our skill this week is our half flip. Now, the half flip is a jump, but it doesn't need to be a big jump. It's more of a hop. It's like a half flip jump is the technical name, but like half flip hop. That's more how I like to do it. I do not love to jump on my skates. I know a lot of people are afraid to jump on your skates. I'm right there with you. I am one of those people who is afraid to jump on my skates. I like my feet on the ground and my feet like to be on the ground. So whenever I do a jump, I do more of a hop, which when I was skating in competitive skating, a lot of my friends and my brothers, they were great at jumping. They made fun of me all the time because I would get like a centimeter off the ground when I'm supposed to get inches off the ground. Don't shy away from the half flip. The half flip is your friend. The half flip does turn you around. It's a half rotation. half flip. So from backward to forward, and you do use your toe stops on this. You can't really get away with this jump without a toe stop, so I encourage you to put those toe stops in and use your toe stop to actually propel you off the ground. You propel yourself up, you land on that toe stop, and then you step onto your wheels. So be prepared to hit that toe stop twice on this jump. Now for our practice this week, I want you to go into your marching turns. Now the marching turns do a turn from forward to back and back to forward, switching feet in the middle. So let's say you do a left outer forward turn, but you don't need to do it on like super deep edges. But let's say technically it's a left outer forward turn and then a right outer back turn. I don't want you to think too much about the turns on this skill. I want you to think more of that rotation. So it's a rotational skill. You go from forward to back and then back to forward. It's one full rotation. All right, our second skill is a rolling pivot. So we practiced a back pivot in week 2. Now I want you to do a rolling pivot. You can do this forward or you can do it backward. I like to do this forward, and then instead of a back pivot, it's a regular pivot, a forward pivot, and then you roll out of it. This is a really fun one to do because you can slow yourself down. So I use this a lot when I am chasing a camera and I get a lot of speed, and then sometimes you have to slow down really quickly. So this is really good for that, and then to pick speed back up when you need it. And next, I want you to work on your backward cross pull. So we do our backward cross pull quite a lot and in our choreography, but backward cross pulls, I think, are easier than forward cross pulls. So if you are a little afraid of backward skating, I encourage you to do this because it will automatically make you more comfortable. And I honestly do think it's easier than forward. So the backward cross pull, you don't need to do, again, super deep edges, but you do need to do a slight edge when you are doing your cross pulls. The foot that's closest to the inside of your circle, that foot will be doing an outer back edge. Then when you cross the foot over and actually do the cross pull, the foot that you cross, that one does an inner back edge. So you will be practicing your edges, working on your backward cross pulls. One key thing to remember is keep your body rotated to the inside of your circle. So like when you're edging, you're going around in a circle, pretend like there is a pole or a midpoint, something in the center of your circle. You want your body to open up and aim toward that item, toward the center of your circle. All right, our last week, week 4, we will be doing our advanced choreography to Skate by Silk Sonic. Now, again, this song is so good. This choreography, I didn't do it necessarily back to back, although you totally can. You can do the beginner, intermediate, into the advanced. For this month, I did more of an advanced version of the beginner, intermediate choreography. So you can kind of graduate into the advanced, and I'd encourage you to do so, whether it's in these 4 weeks or if it's in a few months. Always you can go back to this choreography. So in the membership, you have access to the full library of choreography. It's not just these videos that I'm mentioning right now. It is the full library. You get it all. So you can go back and revisit things as you wish. Now, this advanced choreography, just like I read off the skills in the other one, this one has a right outer forward 3 turn, a heel toe spin, a down pivot. So we do that back pivot, but we drop it down, drop it like it's hot, a toe stop spin, a right inner forward 3 turn, a dribble, a cross pull, and another 3 turn to finish it off. So there is a lot in this. Again, like every piece of choreography, I do not expect you to nail it the first try. Choreography takes a while to get. So work on the feet, work your way up so that you can develop your own movement throughout. You don't have to copy my choreography exactly. Again, it's more of a practice tool. So do what you can and build up that confidence as you go. All right, for our choreography to finish off the month, I want you to work on your heel toe spin. Now, the heel toe spin will give you a ton of rotations on your spin. So a 2-foot spin, it is done on both feet, but a 2-foot spin, you use your inner edges and you can only go 1 to 2 times around. If you're really strong, you can go more than that. But with a heel toe spin, you pop to the heel toe and you can do a ton of revolutions. So work on your heel toe spin, get your balance, maybe practicing the heel toe manual, but you want to pop to that heel toe and rotate. Again, when you rotate, just like the pivot, everything has to rotate together. So make sure each body part is telling another body part to rotate so that nobody gets left behind. Then I want you to go back to your drills 11, those static turns off skates. This skill is very important. These drills are very important to find that balance point for you on a turn stationary without the weight of the skate and without rolling. So go back to drills 11 this week as well. And lastly, our outer back transition. Now, this outer back transition is a heel to heel transition going from an outer back edge to an outer forward edge. When you do this, again, just like rotating, just like the spins, everything has to rotate with you. You have to make sure your core is nice and tight and your posture is really good. So back to that back and posture video from Mind, Body, Soul, that workout, very, very important to develop those skills to then be able to do these other skating skills. So the back to forward transition, again, it's going back to forward, outer edge to outer edge. Work on opening up your hips, work on your edges to make opening up your hips a little bit easier so that when you step forward, you don't have to like fight to turn the skate. You can simply step. All right, so that concludes our month of March. I really hope you have a great time practicing. Please stay safe. And again, let me know if you have any questions at all. All of these videos can be found within the memberships at thatnicolefiore.com and on YouTube. And I'm available for private lessons either in person or online. Mondays are in person, Thursdays and Fridays are online. Please let me know if you have any questions and if I can help you at all. I hope you have a great month. Bye.